Some Path of Exile players want to do this, while others want to build that can do this. But the only thing that stands in the way for most people is currency, which is why every league I release a series of videos to show different Atlas strategies and help you make more currency. So welcome to 7 days, 7 farms, Crucible edition. Yo guys, welcome to the video. This is Josh or Milky and welcome to day 4 of 7 days, 7 farms. In today's video, we're going to be taking on Grand Design, Growing Hordes, because Awakened Sextants are incredibly valuable right now and Red Altars spit them out. So I wanted to combine this with some mechanics we haven't yet used. We threw in some Harbinger, some Strongboxes, and some Expedition because they have quite easily accessible notables. So let's get into it and see how it went. So the first thing that we need to talk about is Grand Design. What does it do exactly? Well, small Atlas passives grant nothing when you have Grand Design allocated. And instead, your maps gain an additional 1% pack size for every allocated notable Atlas passive skill. So this means we want a tree that picks up all these really easily accessible, low investment, notable passives whilst maintaining some amount of strategy. So we went with Red Altars, as I mentioned. The pack size from these altars actually scales with the pack size on the map. So you get much more monsters, and each of these, if you click the mob altars, will have a flat rate of dropping any given item. Whether it's some kind of Awakened Sextant, Eldritch Ica, Scarab, Chaos Orb, Regret, Unmaking Orb, the list goes on. But more monsters equals more procs of that chance to drop the item. So we went with that, and then we also added in Harbinger because it does actually scale with pack size. I'm not sure how well I actually took this as advice from someone, and it felt pretty good. I did it alright with the Harbinger loot. We'll go into that later. And then Expedition, we know from day one just how well this scales with pack size. This node shouldn't be allocated. We went with all these easily accessible 1-point notable passives. Obviously, these do nothing, these 5. But 5 small passives for 3 notables is good for Grand Design. I'll take that. Typically, you want to spend about 2 points per notable. And then, obviously, this one's pretty accessible, 2 points and a notable. Can't complain. The Harbinger is a bit more expensive. Obviously, 3 points notable, 3 points notable. Bit more expensive. But with Grand Design, typically, you want to look out for these 2-point notables or these 1-point notables to get the additional pack size. You can see at the beginning here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14, 15, 16. It's a lot of pack size. I think in total we ended up with about 40% additional pack size from Grand Design. But was that worth the trade-off from our not having small passives? We will see. The strategy itself, we did use City Square. And the reason for this is with Harbinger, you can use this compass, which causes map bosses to drop additional currency shards. And that works on all the bosses in the map. So because City Square has 3 bosses, you get 3 times the currency shard. So City Square is brilliant for this. You do want to run to the boss first and then clear the map. This is so that you're not getting any boss altars and you're only getting those minion altars that you're looking for. The rest of it was then, obviously we're using Growing Hordes. So we're using Polished Scarabs. You could use Gilded if you really wanted to. Fortune favors the brave. Again, this just gives us 10% more pack size. I think every single map I did had at least 100% pack size. We made it a really fun strat. If you've got something that explodes screens, if maybe you're playing RF with those explosions, it'd be really good. Any build with some kind of built-in explosion, it's going to be really good at this strategy. Red Altars. And then for the remainder, we went with magic pack size, additional rare mobs, normal mobs, magic mobs, depending on your map rarity. Obviously, it's going to be rare because we want to roll these maps pretty well. And then in some cases, if you roll bulk maps, you're going to get unidentified corrupted maps. So I chisel out and Vald all my maps, and any that were unidentified, I put to one side. And for those, I bought the compass that did this. Let's see. Here it is, 20% increased pack size in unidentified maps. So what you can do is you can roll your maps in bulk, save all those, and you can buy an appropriate amount of these compass so that you're getting that additional pack size instead of that first compass I showed. And then 2 additional Strongboxes, and Strongboxes are corrupted. Obviously, our Strongboxes are already corrupted, but we just wanted 2 additional Strongboxes. And this is only like 8C, so it's 2C per map for 2 boxes, 1C per box. I'm not going to complain. So that's the strategy. This will be linked in the description and on my spreadsheet if you want to go check that out. But let's get into the game and see how we run these maps. Yo guys, this is Milky from the past. Just going to take you on a quick run through of the City Square and show you how you run this map. There are no compasses on this map. I've actually ran out. I've already done the 100 maps, so no compasses on this one, but I can still show you the general idea. The first thing you want to do, whatever side you spawn on, you want to run straight to the boss. There will be a Harbinger here, and these bosses do each drop the fragment shards from the compass, which is really good. So 3 times value on that. We should have probably got this first, just drop them extra items. But after that, it's literally just doing a ring of the arena. You just run around the entire perimeter, killing all the mobs. No mobs spawn in the middle. In all the maps I've done, there were no mobs in the middle. You simply just run around the entire outside, killing everything as you go, hoping and praying with all your heart that an awakened Sextant red altar spawns. The Chaos Altars are good too. Grand Ickers, very good. There's some really nice options you can get from them. As you can see, you literally just run around. Any build can do this. Obviously, mine goes quite fast, but any build can just race through here. Sometimes you get these rogue metamorphs because of the tree. These drop catalysts and a bit of currency. Yeah, as you see, a few catalysts there. No good ones this time, but sometimes you get something nice. Okay, now here's a Harby. You just want to kill these guys as you do other things, but for the sake of the video and showing you guys, I'm just going to do it on its own. And then we'll talk about how we do an expedition. So, expedition. We're going to look from the guy. We've got Tujan over here. We see a stack deck one here. This is excavated chest though, so we're not too bothered about that. We typically want the runic monsters drop stack deck. This is actually a pretty bad one. So we might as well work our way over to this, even though it's pretty weak. Grab that. These div cards are really nice. Sometimes you can get, obviously, like Headhunter cards, stuff like that. I didn't get lucky, but you can obviously do that. Quantity. Yeah, this was a really bad expedition, huh? And you just set that off. And now, because of the layout of the map, you could just wander off and do other things. I personally just let all the expeditions spawn and go do other things. Just finish the rest of the map. Get all your altars and then go back and finish it at the end. Little Eldritch Orb of Annulment there. Very nice. Right, not to die to bearers. These awakened sections are 4C each. It's crazy. Even more than that if you sell in bulk, of course. And that's it. The remaining monsters, as I said, no monsters spawn in this center area. So run to the boss, run around the perimeter, and you'll kill every single monster. I'll be surprised if you're not clearing every map with very few monsters remaining in it. And then, obviously, you'd probably have a bit less lag whilst you killed your expedition compared to what I have. But it'll die. And there we go. So that's how we run a map. That's it. We have 0 monsters remaining. We killed every single mob in the map. Now, in terms of loot, we got tons of currency. It's all these currency dropping from the mobs. We have so much chaos. This is also including the 300 chaos that we had to spend on Fortune. So we actually dropped roughly 600 chaos from the altars. We got, what was this? I don't know, about 170 awakened sextants. Tons of red currency, as you can see. Chisels, unmakings. All this currency that will be easy to sell in values of divines, and then scarabs, a lot of divination cards. With this strategy, there are obviously modifiers to the mobs that can make them drop unique jewelry div cards or corrupted unique jewelry, so you can get some really exciting outcomes. I personally didn't get any big ones, but it's very, very possible. Stack decks, obviously we get a lot of these from Expedition, and then catalysts. You do have these rogue metamorphs running around because of some of the trees, and you do drop a fair amount of catalysts. So, pretty decent investment for a couple of points, as well as the pack size that it gives. So that's the small loot, and then we'll look at the bigger loot. We have, from Harbinger, we got 33 Annuls and 32 Ancients, which is pretty consistent there. These are pretty much the same rarity, right? And then we got 1 entire Fracturing Orb and 4 Shards, as well as a single Divine. And then 3 Exalts and 12 Shards. So this is kind of the Harby loot, and then this would just drop naturally. And then some logbooks, some influence maps, the invitations, of course, and then the vendor refresh currency from Expedition. So pretty good. Honestly, for this farm, it was really chill. It didn't take a lot of time. It was really just, it was quite a brain off kind of farm. You just run to the middle, then you do a circle around the map. You just click all the altars. It's a pretty low maintenance farm. It was just click a lot of loot, kill a lot of mobs, which for some people is exactly what they want. So we'll go into the spreadsheet now and see exactly how this scored against the previous strategies that we've done. And here we are, trusty spreadsheet time. What did we invest? Well, we invested 18.15 chaos per map. This was mainly made up by the Harbinger compass, which was 30C each, which made a total cost of 750C for that. 640C for 100 maps worth of polished scarabs, and then the rest was pretty cheap. The strongbox, as I say, 1C per strongbox is a bit of a bargain, if you ask me. So I don't mind that, which meant a total investment of 10 divines what did we return? Well, Excellence says I got 33.48 divines worth of returns in all the calculatable loot, and then the uncalculatable loot, we made 4.5 divines returns, which was logbooks, maps, and influence maps. Very easy things to sell, which made a total return of 37.98 divines, or a profit of 27.9. Now, this did only take me 3.4 minutes per map, which means we got a total estimated profit per hour of 4.92 divines, which isn't too bad. It's close to that 5 mark. That's kind of the benchmark in terms of a good strategy, in my opinion. So this is just teetering on that, and it does have the option for those lucky drop, maybe more good div cards, maybe more awakened Sextant. It has the potential to be very strong. I don't think there's anything I'd change about this. I think it's a really good, low maintenance, pretty cheap to run farm. Obviously 18 C per map's not nothing, but for how little time it takes and how easy it is to just run in and do the map super fast, I think it's a really nice chill farm, and I would recommend it to anyone playing any build with some explode, as long as these awakened Sextant prices hold. Because we made a profit of 0.28 divs per map, which is brilliant in my opinion. So yeah, pretty chill one today. We not very glamorous, a pretty fast run, low investment strategy. We'll be doing something a bit more exciting. There will be no video tomorrow. There is the Torchlight reveal that I'll be covering and featuring in tonight, if you watch the video on the day of release. If not, that was long ago. But yeah, I will see you not tomorrow, but the day after. Thanks for watching.